She sent a voice message to the wrong number. Minutes later, the CEO boss showed up at her door. It was 7:42 a.m., the kind of late but not catastrophically late morning where panic hums under the surface. Meera Patel balanced her laptop bag on one shoulder, her travel mug of coffee in the other hand, and still somehow managed to pull out her phone to record a voice message to her best friend, Sana. "Remind me," she whispered into the speaker as she tiptoed down her apartment hallway. "Never again volunteer to present quarterly projections before I've had caffeine. I swear, if Mr. Reyes breathes near me today, I might." She paused the recording to avoid waking her elderly neighbor's dog. Then, still half asleep, she continued whispering into the microphone, "I might actually quit on the spot. The man terrifies me. He has that look, you know, like he can smell fear and miss deadlines." She stopped the message, hit send, and rushed out the door. It wasn't until she was halfway through her commute that she realized what she had done. Her stomach plummeted. The message wasn't sent to Sana. It was sent to Mr. Reyes, work, her CEO, her cold as granite, razor-eyed, always pressed suit CEO who, until today, she had managed to avoid embarrassing herself in front of. Oh, my God. Meera stopped dead in the street, earning a few annoyed mutters from morning commuters. She stared at her screen as though sheer willpower could reverse the universe. But the small blue check marks glared back at her, merciless. Message received. Message played. The coffee in her hand suddenly felt useless. What she needed was a passport, a disguise, and a remote island. Her first instinct was to send another message, something like, "Haha, wrong person," but her fingers were trembling too hard to type. Besides, what could she possibly say? "Sorry for implying you're a bloodhound who hunts employees for breakfast." No, she would pretend her phone had been hacked, or stolen, or possessed. Yes, possessed was believable. She needed time to plan an escape route. By the time she reached the lobby of her office building, her nerves were stretched thinner than printer paper. She kept expecting a security guard to escort her out, or for HR to appear with a box for her belongings. But everything was eerily normal. Too normal. When the elevator doors opened on her floor, her coworkers milled about, chatting, sipping coffee, complaining about Mondays. Not one person looked at her with pity or fear. No one said, "Meera, I can't believe you survived that message." Maybe, just maybe, he hadn't listened to it closely. Maybe he played it on mute. Maybe he thought it was for someone else. Maybe, her phone buzzed. A text from Mr. Reyes. "Greater than are you home?" Home. Why would he ask if she was home? Her heartbeat tripped. Had he tried to talk to her before she left? Had he gone to her apartment building? No, impossible. Her trembling fingers tapped back. "Greater than I'm at work." 3 dots appeared, then disappeared, then reappeared. Finally, "Greater than stay there. I'm coming." Meera nearly fainted. She sank into her desk chair, palms clammy, brain firing worst-case scenarios at lightning speed. Maybe he wanted to fire her privately. Maybe he didn't want witnesses. Maybe. The office went silent, the kind of silence that spreads when someone powerful walks in. Footsteps, firm, confident, approached. Her coworkers, eyes widened, one by one, like spectators watching a storm roll in. Then he appeared. Daniel Reyes, CEO, legend, myth, employer of 800 people. And he was walking straight toward her desk. Meera shot to her feet so fast she nearly knocked over her coffee. "Mr. Reyes, I can explain. My phone was being weird, I didn't mean." He held up a hand, stopping her avalanche of panic. "Meera," he said calmly, "why did you leave so fast this morning?" She blinked. "I was late." He frowned. "I knocked on your door. Your neighbor said you left minutes earlier." Her soul temporarily left her body. "You, what?" she croaked. He rubbed the back of his neck, looking uncharacteristically awkward. "I was on my way to the airport. I needed to drop off a hard drive with the updated financials. You're the only one with clearance to access the confidential folder embedded in it. So I tried calling you. Then I got your voice message." Her face heated so violently she could power a small generator. "Sir, that message was a mistake. I meant to send it to my friend. It wasn't." He held up a hand again. "I know," he said, and for the first time in their entire working history, he smiled. Not the tight corporate smile he gave investors. A real one, warm, amused, even gentle. "That's why I didn't respond. I figured you were somewhere melting into a puddle of embarrassment." She swallowed. Yes. He sat on the edge of her desk, ignoring the stunned looks from half the office. I showed up at your door, he continued, because I thought you were still home and I didn't want to miss my flight. And, he paused, because I wasn't about to text you back something formal after that message. It would have made things worse. Mira groaned. Please don't repeat anything I said. Oh, I won't, he chuckled, though I have to admit, the idea that I smell fear was entertaining. She covered her face with both hands. Please stop talking, he laughed, a genuine, warm sound that turned even her coworkers' heads. Mira, he said softly, if it makes you feel better, that voice message was refreshing. She dropped her hands. What? People don't talk to me like that, he admitted. Not honestly, not casually, certainly not in a whisper at 7 in the morning. It reminded me that my employees are human. And that maybe, he added with a tilt of his head, I come across a little more intimidating than I intend. She blinked. You think? Another laugh. I wanted to make sure you were okay before I left town, he said. That's really why I came here. Something warm bloomed in her chest. Confusion, relief, disbelief all tangled together. So, I'm not fired? She asked. Fired, he repeated, eyebrows lifting. Mira, you're one of the sharpest analysts on my team. I'm not firing you over an accidental voice message. Oh, she breathed, weak with relief. He handed her the hard drive. Just get this uploaded before noon. And, he added, lowering his voice, don't be afraid of me. I promise I don't eat employees for breakfast. She laughed. She actually laughed. He straightened, adjusted his suit jacket, then leaned in slightly. And Mira, he said, yes, next time you need to vent about your job, he said with a wink, you can send the voice message to the right person. Her cheeks warmed. Right, yes, definitely. As he walked away, the office erupted in whispers. Mira sank back into her chair, her pulse finally settling. She had sent the worst accidental message of her life. And somehow, it had brought her CEO to her door. And not to fire her, but to check on her. Maybe Mondays weren't so bad after all.